Good evening, dear ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the program Face to Face. We always say that experience comes with the ages, but the story of today's our special guest is going to show you, regardless the years you have lived or regardless the age you have, you still can gain the experience which changes you forever. Let me introduce you our guest today, Mr. Itgel, who has just joined the University of Santa Barbara and is going to share with his own personal experience. Good evening.
Good evening.
And welcome to our program.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And I would like to start our conversation with asking you to introduce yourself. And definitely talk about your new program you're going to start at the University of Santa Barbara.
Well, my name is Itgel Munkhbaatar, and I just turned 21 1 week ago. It was my birthday on April 22nd, so...
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you, appreciate it. So you can call me a young man, I guess. I transition from a young guy to a man, hopefully. And now I'm about to leave this Saturday to pursue my studies in sports science major at the University of Santa Barbara, and I'm very, very excited to do so.
And actually, when you say this sports science, it's a very special, or I can say very not common subject, which would the young people at the present times in Mongolia to choose. They usually go to economics or law. Why you have decided to go for the sports science?
Well, actually, I have a major in business administration. That was my first bachelor's. And interestingly enough, it came unexpectedly because I got very sick and I got very ill. So I had a time to really think about my life missions and really think about my goals in life and really follow my heart and passion. And for me, it wasn't about the money. It wasn't about the fame. It wasn't about wearing the tie and going to these big fancy events. It was about me being happy. Because at the end of the day, if I die, then what's the point of having all this money? Or what's the point of having all these materialistic things?
And when you choose the subject of sports science, what do you want to accomplish when you say within the framework of your life mission?
Many great things.
Please.
If you really want to know what my life mission is, it's very simple. I want to make the world a healthier place.
Beautiful.
And for me, personally, from my experience, the best way to accomplish this is through sports and it's through nutrition.
Right.
And that's how I did it to myself. That's how I cured myself, because I was very sick.
Of course, with your permission, which you have given me before our program, I would like to also talk about your experience and your life when you realized that you're sick, which made you change your lifestyle. If you could share with your first feelings, why you decided that changing the lifestyle you had is going to make you a healthier and happier person?
Well, ever since I was born, I was a very sick child. Even my mom and my grandma told me. They said that even the slightest noise could wake me up when I was a baby. I'm sure you know babies, sleep like babies all throughout the night. So that was just the first indicator that I didn't have good health. And I believe many things contributed to this. The two main things, just from my thesis, is that first, in my first month when I was born, of infancy, my mom didn't give me her breast milk. So from doing my own research, in the first month when the baby is born, when you get your breast milk from your mom, that's when you get all the beneficial bacteria, all the good gut flora in the stomach as well. So I believe that contributed greatly to my health issues today. And secondly, it was the overuse of antibiotics. And just many. I remember growing up as a child that I would not be able to sit down because my behind would be so blue from all the shots that I received. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to the things I went through. I'm not the only one down here. Actually, 3 things, and a lot of bad diet, a lot of bad nutrition, a lot of fast food.
And I understand you spent your childhood in the United States where the not healthy food is the most popular food, they say.
Well, yes, I have. And when you're young, you just go towards the most flashiest, most tastiest things. You don't really have a general clue what healthy eating is. For me, healthy eating was just eating more vegetables. I had no frame of reference whatsoever. So yeah, I did do a lot of years of McDonald's, KFC, and just instant foods, and noodles, and so on. So I have my quiet share of that.
And usually people say one day they have this click in their mind, realizing that, hey, look at yourself, look within yourself, that maybe something you're doing is not right for you. How old were you when you had this click?
I believe I was 14, just when I was going through my teenage years. Something didn't feel right. I was very sick all the time. I didn't get enough sleep. I kept on waking up at 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, just in a lot of pain. I would remember that waking up, I would just wake up in a state of anxiety, just my body shaking, and I just didn't have a general zest for life. I was very low energy, very sick. And I wouldn't say just one thing that made me change like that. It was a series of consecutive events that made me change.
And then you realized that it's not something which you want to continue. What were the steps you have taken to change yourself?
It was very difficult at first. I didn't know what to do. Mainstream doctors and mainstream medicine did not help me that much. I went to so many hospitals. I've tried every single medication out there. I've tried mostly I had problems with my stomach and my throat and my sleep. So I tried every single medication. I had colonoscopy. It was getting so serious to the point that I almost had a surgery in my stomach. That's how serious it was. And there was even instances where I woke up in the hospital because I passed out. So it was very serious.
And then you told me before, and I would like you to share with our viewers how you found out about the healthy lifestyle. What do you mean by healthy lifestyle? What our viewers can learn so you feel much better. And actually, when I look at you, you look like pretty young, healthy boy. Man, I'm sorry.
Well, thank you. I believe a healthy lifestyle is a lifestyle that is similar to, this might sound a little bit of woo-woo and a little bit out of the world, but a healthy lifestyle is the same lifestyle as our hunter and gatherer ancestors 40,000 years ago, because our genes are basically the same as people who lived 1 million years ago. The human beings have evolved about 2 million years ago, so we are beings of the Ice Age. People who lived during the Ice Age, they lived very, very healthy. But there are studies showing and indicating that, oh, people that lived during that time died very young, you know, or that the average life statistics is very low. But those conclusions are very incorrect, in fact, and they don't show the full picture. To give you an example, think about camping for the rest of your life. You're out in the woods. So it's very, the
exciting.
Risk of, exciting as well. So the risk of getting caught in infections or getting killed by animals or those sort of things are very high. But our ancestors did not have cancer. They did not have heart attacks. They did not have diabetes. They lived even all the way till the 80s and 70s. They enjoyed vibrant health fully. So I believe mimicking the lifestyles of our ancestors is the first step of just getting applying a frame of reference of what a healthy lifestyle is. They didn't have Snickers.
Right.
They didn't have ice cream.
Correct.
They didn't have like
Coca-Cola, Fanta.
Coca-Cola, Fanta, for example.
Right. So please share with your daily diet, which you pursue now, which you say helps you to feel better.
Well, my daily diet is very simple. I usually skip breakfast because I'm not usually hungry around that time. So what I do is I wake up and I slice a couple of sweet potatoes. They have them surprisingly here in Mongolia. I put some butter on it, and I put lots of green veggies. I mix that too, and I put coconut oil in it. So viewers might be thinking that this might be very high in fat, but actually fat is our preferred use of energy fuel that our body uses more efficiently.
Actually, talking about the fat, I just recently been recommended that our people think that eating fat makes you fat, which is like not the true, and I guess your diet also shows is not the true case. And do you use meat?
Oh, definitely. Meat is a very big part of my diet, but you don't need that much meat to satisfy your daily requirements. You only need a little bit of amount. Unless you're doing like big, high intensive sports, or if you're an athlete, then you can increase the intake of the meats and so on.
Good. And of course, healthy lifestyle is not only about the food. I understand. It's also about exercising. It's also about being fit. How do you, as a young man, undertake this kind of exercises? What do you do in general?
Well, just like you said, it's a lifestyle. And from everything from sleeping to eating healthy to controlling your stress levels, those things really helped me out a lot. And ever since I was a small child, I was always very hyper, and I always didn't have time for, I was very active. I did not have time for myself. So recently I've been getting really involved in just taking the time off. And just, even though it's like 20 minutes, I'm just like, okay, for 20 minutes I'm just going to zone out and just relax, not focus on work. This helped me out tremendously.
Is it about a meditation, or?
You could say it's a sort of meditation. It is a meditation. And improving my sleep helped out massively. Yes.
And how did you manage to learn so much about your own condition? Of course, medical records are one of the references, but have you used any other sources of information?
Well, there was a lot of trials and tribulations. There was a lot of pain. And pain is what drove me to do a lot of research. And after seeing many doctors, I was getting better. So I probably read over like 30 books on the subject of health and fitness. And even if you go through my phone right now, there's like 20 books on health and nutrition and so on. So I'm very passionate about this subject, as you can probably tell the way I speak. So that's how I found about it.
I'm sure our viewers will join me to feel that you are different from the young generation of Mongolian young men. We believe it's a common type who think about a career, or who think about making financial, getting financial status or whatsoever. What makes you different? Do you feel yourself different?
I feel like I am in a new field, and that I'm out in the jungle with a machete, cutting a new way through. That's what it feels like. But I feel that is my mission, and it's my mission statement, just like you said, it's the same as most Mongolian people. They want to make their country a better place. They just want to be highly civilized people in the 21st century.
Right. And among your fellow friends who are same age as you are, do you have same-minded people, or you feel like alien?
Well, it's very tough, because most people, when they say, hey, I'm studying sports nutrition, or I'm into health, most people don't even know what that is.
Right.
What is sports nutrition? What do you study? Because 99% of the people that I know study business, lawyers, and doctors, and so on, just like you said. However, I've met one person, but she's not the same age as me. She's 10 years older than I am. And she's a great mentor and a great sister to me. Her name is Emma. And she lived in England for almost like 15 years. And she herself is also a personal trainer, which is something I want to accomplish as well.
Right.
That's the only person that I can relate to. Yet, in fact, there's these organic protein bars that I buy. They used to have them down here in Mongolia. One day I ran out because I bought all of them myself. So I contacted...
And of all the Mongolian markets.
Oh, yeah, only Mongolian markets. So all the health food guys can do some sponsoring if you want. So.
Right.
Yeah, so I contacted the company, and the guy forwarded me the details of this person who handles the shipping. So me and this guy talked. It turns out this guy is also very passionate about cooking and is also very into nutrition, which is something that I am also very passionate about. So I guess in my 3 to 4 years of being here in Mongolia, I've only met like 2 persons. That's about it.
Right. And since you have special diet, which is comprised of different vegetables or some products which are not available, but maybe at higher prices, do you cook yourself, or you find them in the regular restaurant in Mongolia? Do you find difficulties leading healthy lifestyle here?
Well, I do believe it's possible. You just have to know what healthy is, because healthy is not grains. I'm talking about like bread, rice, and pasta. Healthy is not like milk, dairy, and processed foods. And to give you a simple example of what healthy food is, if you and I were 40,000 years ago, were hunter-gatherers with a spear, the only thing we would find and eat that is healthy. So, but it is possible. Like, I get most of my food from Mercury down here in Mongolia, and some restaurants, I don't go eat out that much because I cook really good at home. So, but there are a couple of good restaurants that offer healthy options, and they even says it on the menu. It says healthy right next to it. But it's very rare. It's very few. But you can eat it. You can still eat very healthy. Just avoid grains and legumes and dairies. That's my general rule.
When you said you like cooking yourself, what's the feeling you get when you cook? Because usually having men cook at home is something very special on and very special occasions, but you do it every day.
Oh, I was very fortunate when I was living in Malaysia. My best friend in the whole world, he was a 5-star chef at Shangri-La.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so he was
good teacher to learn from.
Oh, an amazing teacher to learn from. He's still a very dear friend of mine to this day. And he just taught me, because when I first met him, he would ask me questions like, what's your favorite food? And I would say, chicken. You know what I mean? And he would look at me with like, kind of like an awkward stare, like, okay, chicken. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't see the same way he saw food. And he's just he was from Libya, by the way. He was an African person. And he's just very passionate about cooking. And he first really got me into cooking. And even up till this day, cooking for me is, I enjoy the mixing element. I enjoy mixing and creating the different tastes. And I believe, like, taste is one of the heavenly pleasures of life. I'm glad we can taste.
Right.
That's all I got to say.
When I listen to you,